How much sugar do you think you consume in an average year? Now, I did another video on this topic, but I wanted to emphasize a couple additional points. Now, depending on your age, if you're between 1.5 years old to 3, you consume about 36 grams of added sugar per day. That comes out to 9 teaspoons of sugar every single day. If you're a teenager, you consume about 74 grams. That's 18.5 teaspoons per day. That's added sugar. If you're a little bit older, maybe you have a little less than this. Now, the American Diabetes Association said that if you are between the ages of 2 and 18, you need to be consuming less than 25 grams of sugar every day. That's 6 teaspoons of sugar every single day. So you want to keep your sugar under 6 teaspoons of added sugar. Well, guess what, guys? This is way, way too high, especially since the average person does not understand that all carbohydrates turn into sugar in the body, except fiber, as in the fiber in vegetables, which is not very sweet. So if you're consuming vegetables, it's not going to spike your blood sugars. But all these other foods will, and I'm talking about the breads, the pasta, the cereal, the crackers, the biscuits, the waffles, etc., etc. So if we calculate all of those carbohydrates as being your sugar amount, between 225 grams and 325 grams, let's take an average of 275 grams every single day, okay, of sugar. Now, this comes out to a little more than 1/2 pound, 0.6 pounds of sugar every single day, or 0.27 kilograms. But if we look at this over a course of a year, that comes out to 219 pounds of sugar. That is crazy. Or 98.9 kilograms of sugar. Completely and utterly insane. So what happens to your body when you consume so much sugar every single day? Well, excess sugar is toxic to your body. It's called glucotoxicity. It creates all sorts of problems, which we will get into in a second. But a question that a lot of people want to know is, listen, I went to get my blood sugar tested. It was normal. I consume the average diet, which is a lot of sugar, yet my blood sugars are normal. So why is that a problem? Well, what you need to know is that what's happening with all that sugar, it's being quickly routed out of the blood through this hormone called insulin. So the purpose of insulin is to remove excess amount of sugar out of the blood. How much excess? Anything more than 1 teaspoon of sugar, okay, is removed from the blood very quickly through the help of insulin. Why? Because it's toxic. But guess what? The more sugar you eat, the more insulin that's going to be pumped out, and insulin is also toxic to your body. Just do a little research on hyperinsulinemia and you'll find out all the complications. The symptoms that are created from high levels of insulin are almost identical to the symptoms created from high levels of sugar. So the chronic exposure of both sugar and insulin on your tissues creates a lot of problems even before you become a diabetic, which, by the way, does take some years to develop because your body is constantly pumping out insulin to keep your blood sugars normal. Another question that people want to know is, where is that sugar going? Well, it's being converted into fat in the liver, around the organs, and through your belly. If you happen to see anyone walking around with a belly, then you know that they have excess amounts of insulin and definitely excess sugar in their diet. Now let's take a look at a few problems, just some slight minor problems with this excessive amount of glucose and insulin. It's going to affect the heart. It can create clotting, which leads to strokes and heart attacks. It can stiffen the arteries, causing high blood pressure. It can cause angina, a lot of different issues with the heart. It can affect your teeth and the need for braces if your child is consuming a lot of sugar early on, simply because simply because of how sugar affects the dental malformations. The chances are they're probably going to need braces. It really affects the brain in that it can create ADD, brain fog, moodiness, depression, anxiety, and affect your cognitive function, memory, focus, and concentration. It can affect your hormones on a huge scale, one being PCOS, which is high levels of androgen, because high insulin increases androgens. So if you're female, you get facial hair, you have hair loss, you get a stomach, and you get a deeper voice. It creates inflammatory conditions of your skin, acne, definitely cystic acne, and your skin is not going to look very good. It alters the bacteria throughout the body, including the bacteria in your mouth, giving you bad breath. It's highly inflammatory in your joints. So you start noticing stiffness and pain, bursitis, tendinitis, and definitely arthritis. If you play sports, your endurance is going to be a lot less. You're definitely going to be noticed fatigue and tiredness through the day, especially after you eat. And you'll definitely start getting up through the night as you get older because your bladder will be more active at night than during the day. You may need glasses to see because the blood sugars destroy the eye at many different levels. The microvasculature of the nerves, cataracts, glaucoma, and eventually a diabetic neuropathy. And of course, the classic belly fat is a result of that because the liver is filling up with fat, spilling over around the organs in your midsection. Eventually, nerve pain, tingling, burning in the bottom of your feet or the hands, and there's many additional symptoms. So I think you get the point. The average person is just off the charts. They may only consider this added sugar as being their sugar, but it really includes a lot of other carbohydrates. So share this video with your friends and family member so they can increase their awareness on what they might be doing to their body unknowingly. And for those of you that are new, I put a link down below of exactly what diet you should be on. Before you go real quick, I have a course entitled How to Bulletproof Your Immune System. It's a free course. I want you to take it. And here's why. Here's you. Here is your environment. Everyone is focused on this over here, avoiding your environment. But what about here? What about strengthening your immune system? That's what's missing. This course will show you how to bulletproof yourself. And so you can tolerate and resist your environment much better by strengthening your own immune system. I put a link down in the description right down below. Check it out and get signed up today. Hey, before